What up, though, everybody? Welcome to the podcast, Chopping It Up with Uncle Chon. Podcast edition. It's my first podcast. I'd like to thank y'all for joining me. I got a real good show for you tonight, I believe. And I want y'all to know that this podcast is it's going to be all inclusive. We're going to have fun. We're going to talk about serious issues. We're going to talk about current events. We're going to talk about history. We're going to talk about relationship issues. It's just going to be a wide range of different topics. As we go on and the viewership gets larger, we'll have the live chat room. We're going to have call in, and it's going to be real fun. So welcome, welcome, welcome. What up, doe? It's Uncle Chon. And today on the podcast, I got a very interesting yet somewhat controversial topic. You know how it is when now, especially right now, everybody's all sensitive about everything. I got a question I'd like to ask. I got a question that I'd like to ask the masses, the public. We live here in America, and those of us who have lived here all of our lives, we've seen certain things, especially if you're of a certain age. And the question I'd like to ask, with all of the getting rid of affirmative action and DEI and woke, whatever the hell that is, with all these things that the folks tend to think benefit us that really don't. Yet they feel the need to get rid of these things in order to keep us from attaining or achieving certain levels or positions. But ladies and gentlemen, this is what I've been seeing for the last, I'm going to say, 6, 7 years. I've been seeing more and more white folks, white people, men and women, out on the street, at the gas station, in front of the store, begging. I've never seen so many white people in my life begging. I've never seen so many. I mean, I don't even really see the black people like that out begging like that no more. It used to be mostly black people that you would see out holding up signs or standing in front of the store asking for change. Now, for the last, I'm going to say maybe 6, 7, 8 years, white people coming off the freeway, white people begging. And the question that I want to ask, and listen, I'm not talking about somebody who's mentally disabled. I'm not even talking about somebody who's physically disabled. I'm not talking about somebody, a bunch of people in wheelchairs or on a walker or the little the crutches with the arm things on them. I ain't talking about nothing like that. I'm talking about seemingly able-bodied white folks, white people of differing ages out on the streets, at the stores, on the on ramps and off ramps of the freeway, holding up signs, asking for help, asking for money, asking for change out of your pocket. It's crazy. Now, the question that I have, and I think this is a good question, and I don't want anybody to get mad at me for asking this question. I'm merely stating what I see. I'm merely stating what it is. And the question that I want to ask is how in America are you white and a bum? I don't get it. Everything is set up for you to succeed here in America if you're white, especially a white man. How do you become a white bum in America? I think you have to try to be a white bum in America. I mean, you have to do something stupid like get on drugs and just won't get off. And even then, even when you get on drugs, they'll help you. Somebody, if you want help, somebody in your family or somebody who feels sorry for you, another white person will will attempt to get you some treatment. And if you get off the drugs, you can move forward with your life. Nobody's going to hold it against you that you were once a crackhead or a heroin addict or a pillhead or whatever it was that you were doing or an alcoholic. How do you become a bum being a white person in America? Explain it to me. Unless you're trying to be a bum, you have to set out to be a bum. You got to decide, you know what? You know what, buddy? I'm not gonna be shit. Fuck it. I don't want to be anything. I'm just gonna sit at home and I'm gonna play video games till mom kicks me out, and then I'm gonna go out and beg. I mean, what? How does that happen? Like, how do you become a bum in America? I don't care if you were born in the mountains of West Virginia, dirt poor. If you decide to leave those mountains and go somewhere, there's help for you to get education. There's help for you to get on your feet some kind of way if you're willing to do it. If you want to have something and you're white in America, nothing's denied you. Now, I'm not saying that every white person in America can be rich. No, that's not what I'm saying. I am not saying that every white person in America has the ability to be rich. What I am saying is that every white person in America has the ability to be able to sustain themselves and to reasonably take care of their family if they so desire. There's a there's a statistic out. Now this just lets you know how skewed things are in this country. How there's no excuse for a white person to end up on Skid Row unless they're mentally ill or maybe disabled. Or I mean, yeah, there's factors where people have just caught bad breaks in their life. You know, maybe their parents passed away when they were super young and they got thrown into the foster care system and everything just went bad, and it's just you were just not gonna be nothing. There was no way you was gonna be anything. The odds and everything, it seemed like the good Lord himself said, no, you ain't gonna be nothing. I choose you to be nothing. Okay, there's some people like that. There's a few people like that. But barring that, what is your excuse? What is your excuse for standing at the gas station, and when I go in to go pay for my gas, you're standing up there, yeah, can you spare any change? Hell no. I wish I would give a white bum some money. What? What? Usually, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm gonna be honest with you. I ain't even gonna front on you. And maybe I don't know, because I don't you don't know people's circumstances for real, for real. But I'm just saying, when I see a white bum and they ask me for some money, I usually cuss them out. Yeah, I usually cuss them out. I usually be like, "What the hell are you asking me for some money for? And you white in America? You ought to be ashamed of yourself. You wasted your whiteness. You wasted $1 million worth of whiteness." And I know that somebody's gonna run across my video. Some white dude's gonna run across my video Oh, what are you talking about? You black people, you got more advantage than we do. You a goddamn lie. And you know it. There's a statistic that a white felon earns, on average, more money than a black college graduate. Let me say that again. A white felon, on average, earns more than a black college graduate. Let that sink in for a minute. And I got some white dude coming up to my car when I'm at the red light, trying to look pitiful, holding up a sign, walking in front of making sure I see the motherfucker too. What? I'm rolling down the window and cussing your ass out. You sorry, shiftless, trifling, lazy son of a gun. I got my first job when I was 14 years old, and I've been working pretty much ever since. I've had all kind of jobs. I've had 2 jobs at one time. And I ain't even had no kids or nothing. I just wanted a certain type of lifestyle, and I had to do what I had to do it, to get it. You know? Or I'm one of them people, when I want something to eat, I don't want to have to wait on somebody else to feed me. As you can see, I like to eat. And when I want to go somewhere, I don't want to have to wait on somebody to take me where I want to go. I want to be able to go out and get in my vehicle and take myself where I want to go. So I work. I bust my behind. I do what I have to do. And when you see a white dude out begging, and in America who does all the hiring and firing is other white people for the most part. A lot of times these same white people who are begging for money are standing on a street, and if you look on either side of the street, there's restaurants or gas stations with signs up saying now hiring, help wanted. How much are these jokers making standing out there begging? Who would give a white person begging some money other than another white person? Are you a black person who sees white people begging on the street and feels sorry for them and give them money? Comment down below, please. I'd like to know. I'd just like to hear why. I barely give money to black bums. Every now and then, a black person will approach me with such a good sob story. And I literally have told a brother one time, he gave me a story, I swear, Boy, this was a great story. Oh, he had a heart tugging. The violins was playing in the background. And I told him, I said, brother, I don't know if you telling me the truth or not, but that was such a good story. Here's some money. I gave a few dollars. Here you go. At least I got some type of entertainment out of it. I've had black, well, if I'm gonna call white bums bums, I'm gonna call the black ones bums too. I've had black bums come up to me and sang a song for me. You know, trying to tug on your heart with the singing some kind of church song or something. You know, throw a couple sweet Jesuses in there and everything, and here, man, here's a couple bucks. I've had black bums come up to me and be like, "Look, I ain't gonna lie to you. I just want a cold beer. Here you go, man. Go get yourself a cold beer." But I can't think of nothing too much that a white dude could say to me that's out on the street begging to make me want to give him some money. I guess you could call me prejudiced, but it's because I live here in America and I know what the hell goes on here. I know how they run it. I know what it is. Everything is laid out for you as a white man in America to succeed. And if you're a white woman, you in second place. And even if you don't know nothing, just all you gotta do is present yourself good enough to get married to somebody. Other than being mentally ill or severely, I mean, just severely, uh, I guess, handicapped or something, I don't see no reason in the world why you're white and have to beg. Now, I'm not like I say, everybody is not smart or intelligent. Lord knows there's a lot of dumb white folks out here. Unintelligent people, people who don't have aptitude for much. I've been around some of them. But even those people were working. They wasn't begging. They was just stupid, just dumb. But there's a job for everybody. Just because you're not very intelligent when it comes to book sense and whatnot, don't mean you can't work somewhere, especially if you're white, like I'm saying. Matter of fact, you can be dumb and be in a position of authority at a job. You can be the manager and be a dumb, no good, shiftless, lazy son of a gun. Trust me. That's how it is. If you are not very bright and you in reasonably good health, you can always go to the military. And if you go to the military and can manage to not get kicked out and finish your little 3 or 4 year tour, you come out, bam, post office, police officer, firefighter, EMS. There are certain jobs that they'll automatically give you. Automatically. Is it that there's a lot of lazy white people out here? Is it that there's more mentally ill white people out here than we think? They have cut back on mental illness uh, help, mental what Yeah, they've cut back on mental health facilities. I know here in Michigan, I think it was Governor Engler closed down most of the mental health facilities. They started putting the people who were mentally ill in jail. Because you mentally ill, you're going, there's, and when you live in a nation of laws, which means basically anything that they say is illegal today. Tomorrow it might not be, and depending on who you are, it might not be. But if we need to fill up some jails, let's close the mental health facilities and start arresting mentally ill people for doing stuff that they can't help themselves doing. They don't have the mental capacity to reason between right and wrong because they're mentally ill. And instead of helping them, you glut the system with people who probably shouldn't be in prison or jail. So is that it? Are there just far more mentally ill white people than we thought? But I'm gonna tell you the truth. These people that I be out seeing begging, and I've talked to a couple of them. I mean, like one of them I cussed out. He was like, "You're right." He told me I was right. I was like, "You wasting your whiteness. The hell wrong with you? You out here asking a black man for money in America. The shame that you should have for yourself." And he told me I was right. And I hope I hadn't seen him no more. I've been to the gas station a couple times. I hope I'm the one that sent his ass to work. I hope I go into business one day and his ass is in there doing whatever, working. Because it wasn't shit wrong with him. Shit, he probably could have outran me. But yeah, I cuss him out all the time. Yeah, when I yell out the window at him, I be, what the hell wrong with you? And you know what? There's a couple that I see, and I've already cussed them out one time. So when they see me, they go the other way. Like they hang out in the same spot, local store where you go in there to play your lottery or whatever. You go in there, you see them, they see you, and they move away. They move around because they know you're not finna get nothing from me, but cussed out. That's it. I'm gonna call you a dirty, nasty, stupid bum. Just wasting their whiteness. Do you know how easy most white people's life is if they just put in a little hard work? Like as a black person, you have to work twice as hard to get what comes easy to most white people. Most white people, they don't have to jump through 18 hoops to get a business loan and get denied and denied and denied. Hell, you can be unemployed and a bank will take a chance on you because you're white. And a black person could be gainfully employed and they'll deny them and find all kind of reasons why. I don't understand it. Why? How you could be a bum? I ain't talking about. I'm not talking about somebody who's you know working, barely making ends meet. That that happens. Sometimes you're just not good with money. You live beyond your means. Whatever, whatever, whatever. I'm talking about how do you get to the point in America where you're white and you're standing out on the street and you're asking any car that goes by, anybody that goes walking by, for some spare change. First of all, you got to be pretty much white to even ask somebody for some spare change. I ain't never had no spare change. What the hell is spare change? Is that something? That's some change I ain't gonna use. That's some change I ain't got no use for. I wasn't gonna do nothing with this anyway. Excuse me, buddy. Can you give me some spare change? Hell no. I ain't got no spare change. All my change is allocated for use for me to make sure that I don't end up out here with your ass. I never wanted to be white. I can't imagine, because I grew up, you know, in a family where they taught us black history and we were taught to be proud of who we are, you know. But I used to watch shows like Leave It to Beaver and the Brady Bunch, and I'd be like, man, I I like the way white people live. Like you, you know, they always made it look like they all had money and everything was good. The only problems they had was a little crapola that would happen on the show. Obviously, there's some other shit be going on because I'm telling you, I don't know how it is where you are, but where I am, every single day. I ain't just talking about one white person. I'm talking about every so many, every block. There's one on one side of the street or the other. I actually, I took a picture of one on my phone, but I was gonna use it as the background for this, but I decided not to do that. I was like, I ain't gonna do that. I ain't. There's no need to do that. I mean, it wasn't even a very clear picture of the woman that was holding the sign, but you could see the sign. Blonde haired, blue eyed, master race ass white woman out there holding the sign. Yeah. I'm thinking she must be on drugs. I mean, here's the other thing. Is it easier for a woman to beg for money or to sell some coochie? I'm just asking. I don't know. Like, how much money are you gonna get begging while being white? Is that might be a new thing? Begging while being white. If we can drive while being black, you can beg while being white. Hey, and if y'all hear somebody say that, if that becomes a phrase, remember you heard it from Uncle Chon first. Begging while being white. Which one you think she'd make more money doing? I don't know. At least if she was doing that, she'd be offering a service. So my question is how are you white and a bum in America? This has been Uncle Chon, the podcast, chopping it up with Uncle Chon. First one. And I'm in it to win it. This is a labor of love right here. This is something I actually love to do. I don't have to get paid to do it. I enjoy just talking my shit. And if you enjoy listening to me talk shit, or if you ain't got nothing else to do, you might as well listen to me talk shit. And hopefully you'll either be entertained or you'll learn something, or it'll be a provocative thought. It'll provoke thought. Like, yeah, why am I white and a bum in America? Or, yeah, how does somebody become a bum in America when they're white? I mean, I was just riding. I'm just noticing what I'm seeing, and I'm like, damn, how does that happen? Why am I seeing so many white people all of a sudden on the side of the road holding up signs? Man, during the summertime, you see families like it'll be like the father, the mother, and three kids out there on the side of the freeway. Sorry, I still ain't giving y'all shit. Even if you had a dog out there, I ain't giving you a damn thing. If you white and won't nobody in your family help you, how bad of a person are you? You mean to tell me you are a husband and a wife and y'all got three kids or two kids or one kid and nobody, no sibling, your mother, your father, you don't have an uncle or a cousin or nobody that'll take y'all in so you can get up on your feet? Or have you burned all your bridges because you've stolen and done rotten things to your family members? Because you must have done something to become a bum in America and be white. Well, I hope you have enjoyed this as much as I have. And I hope I've got you to thinking. And I hope that you tell your friends and family members about me. And y'all tune in because I'm going to be coming at you quite a bit. I think I've done enough studying about this YouTube and podcasts and all of that. It's all about content, content, content. You know, it ain't about when you feel like doing something. It's, hey, if you about doing the work of it, get busy. Get busy or get lost. So I'm going to get busy. This has been Chopping It Up with Uncle Chon, the podcast, show number 1. Thank you for tuning in. Peace.